Episode 18, How to Break Your Social Media Habit. Okay, everybody, I want to just start out and take a minute to let you know that I've created a super awesome free printable workbook to help you with this episode or just to have by itself. It's like a journal that takes you day by day, helping you break down why you feel like you need to be on social media, what limits you would like to set with yourself, and then helps you with a 7-day social media fast, which is 7 days with no social media. Sounds good? It's a free downloadable, and you can find that at learnliveloveyourself.com/no social media. So it'd be an awesome thing to do with friends or with family. If you have a daughter who might need this, go ahead and send it her way. learnliveloveyourself.com/no social media for your free downloadable workbook. I hope you love it. Ugh, social media. Love to hate it, hate to love it. Pretty much, right? How much time do we spend on social media? Too much. This episode is gonna blow your mind. It really kind of digs deep. It's salt in the wound, pretty much, because all of us know we could probably be better about doing our social media, right? We could be better about it. But this episode is really going to get to the nitty-gritty of why are we spending our time on this and how we can love ourselves better by getting rid of social media and putting boundaries in place to protect our delicate, beautiful minds. Let's get into it. Hi, my name is Lindsay Clyde, and this is Learn, Live, Love Yourself, a podcast where self-discovery leads to self-lovery. Each episode, I am delivering fun, practical ways to peel back the layers of your life and tap into that deep down you. Changing your mind one challenge at a time, this podcast will get you loving yourself better every day. It's time to grow. Come learn, live, love yourself with me. Episode 18, How to Break Your Social Media Habit. Okay, so I hate not being in control of myself. If I am feeling like I want to go have one more brownie and I feel this urge to go get the brownie, it bothers me. I don't like having my body dictate what I do and do not want. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. And I guess I kind of pride myself on being able to tell myself that I will or will not do something and then follow through with that. And I think I get a huge sense of power from this. And that can be a good thing, right? Last Christmas, our prophet and president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, President Nelson, issued a challenge to the women of our church. He asked us, among other things, to do a social media fast for 1 week. So going without social media for 7 days. I sat comfortably in my seat knowing that, this will be no problem for me. I feel bad for everyone else who's going to struggle with this. So prideful. And the week began on a Sunday for me, which was easy because I already don't do social media on Sunday. And then Monday hit, and I was surprised and really irritated at how many times I reached for my phone to hop on Facebook or Instagram. I took the apps off my phone's home screen, and I exited out of the browsers that had Facebook up, but that didn't really help get rid of the impulse. And when that didn't kill the urge to constantly check my phone, I put my phone on the charger in the family room and I just turned up the volume so that I never had to worry about whether I was missing a text or a phone call, and I just kept it away from me and I didn't leave it in my pocket. And still, even with that phone far away from me, when I was watching a TV show or just sitting at the dinner table, I felt this compulsive urge to reach for my phone and check it. I didn't even have it on me. It wasn't even next to me. I couldn't even see it most of the time. It was like an involuntary muscle spasm. Like, check it, check it, check it. I would be bored and then check it. Or I'd be doing the dishes and check it. But the dishes was what was enough for me. I was totally fed up with this little impulse. Because during the dishes, really, brain? You want me to check my phone? My hands are covered in soap. How am I supposed to even check my phone right now? I was out of control. This was ridiculous. I wasn't going to have that any longer. No way is Instagram going to take over my mind like this. And so for the rest of the week, I continued on with the challenge, but with this, fiery little fire in my soul, my heart, pushing back against something that I had let take control of me. And after that week, I was on a high from having so much willpower to stick to my social media fast. I just kept going. It felt so freeing to strut about thinking, I have no idea what's going on with any of my friends and I don't even care. My life is the same without Instagram. It was literally, there's no other word, it's pure freedom. And so I continued on for more weeks and a few more. And I finally was completely weaned of that little muscle spasm of my dependency to check social media when along comes a podcast and I realize I have to get back on social media to promote the podcast. And I didn't want to come back. I was free and I didn't want to be bound again. So reluctantly, I came back. And since then, I have had to really watch myself and keep myself from sliding down that slope again. And sometimes Steve catches me, "Are you just scrolling?" he'll ask. And then, "Oh, yes, I am just scrolling. Why am I even on here right now?" And I close the app. And even after all of the benefits I saw from being away from social media, which was, a clearer mind, I was happier with myself, I was happier with the kids, I had more free time, I was doing more learning and more things that I loved. But still, with knowing all that, I fall back into checking social media impulsively so easily. Does this story sound anything like you've experienced before? It is so easy to get into habits of doing blah things. We are such habitual people. We have habits we don't even know we have. Thank you, Steve, for pointing out my secret habits to me. We need people to show us what we do when we don't even realize it. But you might be saying, I do so much in my life. I'm so busy. I have so many important things and good things that I'm doing, and I sometimes just need some downtime. And so I like social media. And you're right. Social media seems like the perfect blah thing to do when your brain is just dead from the day and you want to just relax. I totally get that. It takes very little concentration, it entertains you, it's easily accessible, and it's addicting. It literally is made to be addicting. There are people who are hired to find ways to make social media more addicting to you. And why? It's because your eyeball time is what makes them money. The more time you spend on their app, the more money that they get from advertisers. Do you see how that works? Your loving social media for your free time is making a bunch of people money and incentivizing them to make it more addicting. They just want you to be on the app as long as possible. Does that sound like somebody who has your best interest at heart? No, totally not. And if we actually break it down that way, it's kind of alarming, because maybe we've stayed away from drugs or we've stayed away from alcohol or cigarettes or whatever else could be addicting, but we've so easily and passively let social media creep into our lives and become an addictive behavior. I'm not an addict, you might say. I can control it. I know you can. I know you can control it. And to prove it and to practice it, we are going to do a 7-day social media fast together. Yep. And if you still are like, no, I don't need this. I'm fine without it. I don't need it. I want to ask you some more questions. How dangerous is it to be on something that makes us feel so crummy about ourselves? Maybe you're not addicted, but let's say we are. Say we do have this little urge to check. How dangerous is it that we are addicted to something that makes us feel so bad inside? Am I right? What's our problem? Raise your hand if you've ever felt like you are fat, ugly, boring, fashionable, or friendless after using social media. This can't just be me feeling this stuff, guys. It can't just be me. Why would we keep coming back to a pastime that leaves us feeling worthless or just plain less in general than everyone else around us? Why would we keep coming back to something that makes us think, why don't I fly to Spain once a year? Why am I so white? I need to go get tan. Why didn't I get invited to that? Why didn't my daughter get invited to that? Why don't I have some of those earrings? Why does her stomach look so flat? She just had a baby, for crying out loud. You know, who has had some of these thoughts? Question, are they good thoughts? Do those thoughts make you happy? Do they make you more content and peaceful about your own life? This podcast is dedicated to helping you love yourself better every day. So it's time we take a real good look at what social media is doing to us. And while I believe we would all just be better off without it, I can admit there are a few positives about social media that really do help the world. And since I can't convince everyone to just get off of social media, but really, can we all just get off? No? Okay. I can't convince everyone to get off, so I'll just try this. I'm going to help you take back your control over how, when, and where you use social media. No more being the pawn. It's time to be a proactive, self-confident player in this social media game. I've created, and I've worked really hard on this, guys. I've spent a long time on this, thinking about it and pouring my heart and what works into this. I have made a Break Your Social Media Habit workbook, and it's available for free. You just go on to learnliveloveyourself.com/no social media and download it from my website. You can just print it out and work it from there. I've really poured my heart and soul into making this workbook, and it will be your own personal journal as you jump into 10 days to social media freedom. It will help you learn who you are, live true to who you want to be, and love yourself better every day by giving you the tools to kick your social media addiction. It's time to take charge, girl. Okay, go to learnliveloveyourself.com/no social media. And this will be linked in the show notes, which is the information below the title and the play button on your podcast player. You can click on the link in the show notes or go to learnliveloveyourself.com/no social media. And you will work alongside others just like you, just like me, who are trying to stop their social media addiction, regain control of their life, and feel, for once, real peace and love for themselves again. So first, we have to learn. Answer these questions in your Break Your Social Media Habit workbook for the 3 days before your social media fast starts. So 3 days of introspection and observing yourself on Instagram and Facebook and other social media, and then 7 days of no social media. So for the first 3 days, we are going to watch ourselves on social media. Be like an outside observer or like a scientist who is conducting an experiment. So answer these questions before and after you get on social media. How does social media make you feel? What does social media give to you? What does social media take from you? How much time do you really spend on it? And if you can't time yourself because it's too often during the day that you're using it, you can go into, most phones have an option to go into the settings and to find the amount of time that you've spent on different apps. So if you're not using Facebook on the app, download the app so that your phone can keep track of how long you're actually on there. And we're doing this for 3 days. We're just gathering information, okay? This is the pre-homework. Another question, what else would you want to do with your free time instead? Like if you could do anything fun during this moment of free time that you're on social media, what would it be? So after you've done the work in the workbook, and you'll have a few writing prompts and other things to help get in your brain flowing about who you are and who you want to be in your life in relation to social media, it's time to live it. It's time to test it out. So for 1 week, we are going to go without social media in a social media fast to make sure we are in control of our impulses. Time to print that free printable workbook that I told you about. Let's say the whole thing again. learnliveloveyourself.com/no social media. And when you sign up for this, I'll get your email and I'll shoot you a couple of emails to help you navigate the first few days of this week because it's rocky. You might feel alone, isolated, alienated, and that's okay, but I will be here for you. Starting with day 1, we're going to make a plan for our social media fast. First, let close family members, like friends and family, know that you're going to be off of social media. So you're not worried about people thinking, where is she or why is she not posting? You can text them or even just drop a picture on your Instagram or Facebook saying, hey, I'm off for a week. Join me in my social media fast to clear our minds and rein it in a little bit. Let them know that if they need to tell you anything or something important happens, or if they would like to chat because, you'll have some more free time, please just text or call. When you let people know this, it helps you ease your own mind, and also it allows other people to join you and fosters more interpersonal relationships. And then the next part of our plan is you're going to decide on and write down 2 fun activities that you will do instead every time you feel the urge to get on social media. You need to make these things easily accessible that you could do anywhere. So it might still be on your phone. Maybe you have an ebook that you download from the library or buy off of Kindle so that you can read instead of every time going on to social media. It might be a language app. I love Duolingo and Tandem. Tandem is an app that connects you with people who speak a different language from you, who want to learn English. And if you want to learn, say, Spanish, people who speak Spanish want to connect, and you can text, you can make video calls and voice chats. It's really fun. So if you want to learn a language, I would suggest a Duolingo or Tandem. There's tons of stuff that you can do on your phone that's way more productive than social media. Otherwise, you want to take up knitting? Like, keep a ball of yarn and your knitting needles in your backpack and pull it out every time you feel like you want to look at your phone. Or if you want to learn the guitar or play your guitar, keep the guitar out in the living room so that when you reach for your phone, you can look up and grab the guitar instead. Maybe get out a few magazines that you've been wanting to look at, or plan the next way you're going to cut your hair. Okay, these are just all the things I would like to do. I'm sure you have a totally different list from me, but just get thinking and write down 2 specific, easily accessible things to do every time that you feel the urge to get on social media during this week. The next part of planning for a successful 7-day social media fast is that when you feel sad or anxious about not being on social media, which you may be because we feel this need, this pull, this tug. We're wondering, are we missing out? What's going on? I wish I could be on there. It's these addictive mindsets. It's okay to feel that way. It's okay to feel sad and anxious. Your body and mind have become reliant on Instagram and Facebook to make you happy. But this is what you're going to say when those sad or anxious thoughts come. I'm not missing out. I'm showing up for my own life. So you think, I didn't get to see the pictures that so-and-so posted from their trip. You say, I'm not missing out. I'm showing up for my own life. And these verbal, out loud affirmations are going to help you change your mindset about whether you need social media or not to be happy. And the last thing is to keep a journal each day about what was hard and what was good. What was hard about not being on social media that day? What was good? What were you able to experience because you were off of social media? You keep a little paragraph journal in the workbook. It's just a little paragraph each day. What was good and what was hard? And then sit back and notice the change over time. You will be surprised. The first few days are going to be hard. They're going to be hard. But I promise you, you're going to get to day 3 and then day 4 and then day 5 and you're going to feel something, which is amazing, right? Because we're so numb. We just scroll and scroll. We endlessly scroll. And you're going to start to feel this change and this power that comes into your life by actively choosing to do things that enrich you instead of social media. And the very, very last thing is that we are going to set rules in place for when you do decide to get back on social media. Maybe at the end of the week you say, okay, that was good enough. I'm going back. But I promise you, you will feel like a changed person and you will want to change your habits on social media. But you're going to go back to the way you were because 7 days isn't that long. You're going to immediately go back to how you were before if you don't set rules in place. So the workbook will walk you through setting up guidelines and rules for how you want your social media usage to look like from here on out. We're going to make sure that your goals for yourself and your life align with how you use social media, how often, how much, and what you think about it, and what you would do instead. All right, love yourself portion. Guys, I'm not going to joke. This is some serious work, but the payoff is huge. If you do the challenge without the workbook, the 7-day social media fast, it may reset your system a little. The change comes, though, from within when you verbalize and write down the difference that you see staying away from social media and how that feels in your life. The results from doing this challenge and working with me in the Break Your Social Media Habit workbook, doing that workbook for 10 days, the results can look like this: feeling more at peace, having greater self-esteem, having more patience, feeling more fulfilled, being more productive, and feeling optimistic. So if you've been missing any of those things in your life, try this out with me. I'm excited to see your results. Because doesn't this sound amazing? We have no idea how our social media habit is sucking the life out of us until we put our phones down and dig deep inside ourselves to see what kind of effect it's actually having. We can't truly give ourselves to our families and give ourselves to our work or our passions or even give ourselves to ourselves if we are addicted to anything, including social media. You've got this. I'm here for you. 10 days to loving yourself better by breaking your social media habit. If you need to talk because you're feeling lonely or this is really hard during the purifying week of the Facebook fast, email me at learnliveloveyourself@gmail.com. I know how it is. It's hard, but I am here for you 100%. So this is the pop challenge. You go online, learnliveloveyourself.com/no social media, and sign up to download the free Break Your Social Media Habit workbook. Print it out, and then start with day 1. Listen to this short episode again if you need to, and do the work in the book each day. It's time to take back your life. Let's do this. Next week, I've got my friend Rose Allen, who is a mom of twins, coming on here to talk about her struggles that she's had with social media and what she does in her own life to be more present with her kids and just have more peace. Her insights will help us take a good look at our time management and our positivity. If this episode kicked your booty into gear and made you excited about changing your life, would you send it to a friend? Maybe somebody you want to do the social media challenge with? That would be awesome, and I would be super grateful. All right, until next time, my pretties. Thanks. Love ya. Bye.